Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am just casually hanging out with the king of rock and roll. Isn't he cute? In today's video, I'm going to be showcasing an item that I made back in 2015. This was a replica of the Hocus Pocus book. In terms of the materials I used, pretty easy to get your hands on. In terms of the technique and how long it took me, granted, this was my first attempt at creating the replica of the Hocus Pocus book, and for someone like me who is a borderline OCD crafter, it did take me a little bit of time to make sure that I was replicating it as close as possible to the one in the movie. You can create this in so many different ways. You can be as detailed or as minimalistic in terms of what you want to have on the book. So in this video, I am not going to be showing you the process in terms of me recreating it, because this was created back in 2015, and back then I didn't have a YouTube channel that I was actively creating videos for. So in terms of this particular video, this is just me kind of talking you through it, what it once started out as, and kind of what I did in order to produce something like this. I'm a huge Hocus Pocus fan. That's why I wanted to recreate the book for myself. And to be honest, I did watch Hocus Pocus 2. I do have some thoughts about that. My generalized thought is I did not like it. It didn't really hold a candle to the original, as I kind of expected with sequels. They usually aren't as good, but I was really hoping for something a little bit more. Overall, I just was a little disappointed in terms of the storyline itself. The original will always be my all-time favorite. That will never ever be replaced by any other sequels, no matter how many more they end up making. The original will always be my favorite. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Back in 2015, I decided to recreate the Hocus Pocus book, and this is what it came out to look like. It's absolutely one of my most prized crafts that I have ever done. I am so incredibly proud of this one. This actually took about 3 months, believe it or not, just because I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't really know how I was going to go about doing some of the elements. So it did take some time to actually do some research and literally look at picture after picture of the Hocus Pocus book from the movie. So the life of this book actually started out as a cardboard box that was lying around the house, believe it or not. And I used a lot of paper towels and Mod Podge to begin with, just to cover the entire book. And then as it was drying, I just gently molded the paper towel with the Mod Podge to kind of mimic the look of skin and the rippling that was on the book, because this book is supposed to be made out of, quote, human skin that has been stitched, and there's just so much detail that went into this book from the movie. So that's what I used for the outer covering. For the inner part of the book, I printed out a piece of the life potion that was used in Hocus Pocus 1, and I just put that on the inside of the book. And then I lined all the way around the inside of the book as well as the back of the front cover with some black felt that I also just lightly dusted with some brown paint. The pages there, I actually took tissue paper and I folded, I don't even know how many pages, but I folded so many individually and just glued that all down, so it kind of was mimicking the old pages of the book. Here you can see some fingers, which you don't get to see the spine in too many of the shots, so I literally was searching online for all different angles of the book, front and back and side. So everything, the fingers, the snakes, were made out of clay, air dry clay. Every single stitch that you see on the book, I actually cut wired rope, and I cut each individual piece there and glued it individually down. So that in and of itself took a long time to do. The snakes, I don't like snakes. I'm deathly afraid of snakes. So that took a lot of willpower to recreate some snakes on there that had the texture, and I don't like snakes. For the handle, it is a functioning handle. There is a magnet embedded in the book, as well as underneath the handle that you will see in a moment. For the eye, I took a circular piece of foam, I cut that in half, and I painted as realistically as I could the eye from the book. And then I also gave the eye some eyelashes as well, as you can see in that shot. So that's kind of the logistics of how I did all of this. It does take time if you're looking to replicate something this detailed and have it be as accurate as possible. That's something that, for me being such a fan, accuracy was key, or being as close to accurate as possible. So I hope you guys give this a try. I'd love to see what you come up with. And like I said, I used a cardboard box that came from a package. So you can get as creative as you want. And most of these materials I already had on hand, with the exception of the hinges, but that was pretty inexpensive. I hope you guys give this a shot. And until next time, it's just a bunch of hocus pocus.